we're going to be doing another story hour. We're going to read Chapter 2 of Phineas and Ferb and the Journey to Mars. So make sure you go check out my first video of that, Phineas and Ferb, Journey to Mars, Chapter 1, so you know what happened in Chapter 1. But we're going to get reading to Chapter 2. On Chapter 2, there's a picture of Phineas. Okay, Chapter 2. The next morning, Phineas and Ferb hurried over to the Googleplex Mall, where the science fair would be held later that day. A long row of cubicles had been arranged in the middle of the mall, with a separate one for each science fair participant. To the boys' surprise, Baljet's portal to Mars was completely assembled in the small cubicle he had been assigned. "Wow, Baljet, you're already set up," Phineas exclaimed. "I have been here since midnight waiting for everyone," Baljet replied through clenched teeth. A huge grin was plastered across his face. "I can't stop smiling. I got cramps in my cheeks." That's kind of funny. And here's a picture of him smiling. "Here, let me help you," said Phineas. He grabbed Baljet's cheeks and stretched them out. He shook them back and forth to loosen up the muscles. "There you go, buddy." Baljet sighed in relief. "Now I will just hang out and be cool until my teacher gets here." But in seconds, his cheeks froze up into an extreme grin once more. "Uh-oh, it's happening again," Baljet exclaimed gleefully. This time there's nothing that Phineas or Ferb could do to help him. Until Baljet's teacher saw the portal to Mars and the judges had examined him work, Baljet was going to be stuck in a state of barely controlled. Across the mall, Phineas and Ferb's older sister, Candace Flynn, was camped out in the food court with a pair of high-powered binoculars. She smiled to herself as she peered through the lenses. Candace would be more than happy to stay there all day watching her adorable crush, Jeremy Johnson. Ooh. Hard at work at Mr. Slushy Dog. "Oh, Jeremy," Candace said aloud to herself. "No one makes a corn dog like you." Just then, Jeremy looked directly at her. It turned out that he wasn't all the way across the food court as she thought. Instead, she was standing right in front of her. "Well, hi, Candace," he said, waving two giant corn dogs at her. "Nice binoculars." Ooh, she thought her smiling. Candace dropped the binoculars and laughed awkwardly. Yep, they're definitely working," she said, quickly trying not to cover up the fact that she'd been staring at Jeremy through them. She walked up to the counter to show the black-nosed binoculars to Jeremy. "Hey, I just bought these for my dad and was, making sure they work. And they sure do. You can see really far away or really up close." Then Candace noticed a small sign. "Help wanted?" she asked. "Yeah, you should apply," Jeremy replied. "We could work together." "You mean side by side?" Candace asked breathlessly. Spending hours every day with Jeremy working together to make Devil's best burgers and corn dogs? That would be a dream come true. Suddenly, a girl jumped in front of Jeremy, completely blocking Candace. "Hi there," she exclaimed. "I'm really, really, really motivated. Really, really, really positive. Really, really high energy. I would like to apply for the job." Excuse me," Candace said, politely moving the girl out of the way. I would also like to apply for the job." Just then, Jeremy's boss walked over. "Well, ladies, I'm afraid I only have one opening," he said. "How about competition to see who gets the job?" "Sounds like a great idea to me," the girl, whose name was Wendy, said as she narrowed her eyes. "Good luck." Then she stuck out her hand to Candace, but wiped it away just as Candace reached out to shake it. "Ooh, too slow. I think I'll call you Molasses." Comment down below if you know what molasses is. Yup, you're right. It's a food that goes really slow when you try and pour it. Got it right. Good job. Then Wendy waved dismissively and walked away. Molasses, grumbled Candace. Well, I think I'll call you something slower than molasses, that's for sure. Suddenly, Candace looked up to see Jeremy and the boss staring at her. This isn't part of the competition, is it? She asked quickly, because Candace was determined to win. And falling behind in the sarcastic nickname category was not going to help her cause. At the same time, Agent P was zipping through the streets of Danville, using his rocket-powered jetpack to follow a Dr. Doofenshmirtz's evil incorporated truck at top speed. There was something big and bulky in the back of the truck. It was completely covered by a baggy tarp, and Agent P was determined to find out what it was. He maneuvered the jetpack until he was in position to jump onto the truck's bumper. Then, holding on tightly, Agent P shimmied across the side of the truck and leaped in through the passenger window. Dr. Doofenshmirtz, who was wearing a strange set of overalls with short pants, had an intricate design embroidered on them, was at the wheel. Agent P took one look at the pants and realized it was the dreaded lederhosen that Mayor Monogram had warned him about. Ooh, Perry the platypus, welcome to my truck of doom, Dr. Doofenshmirtz cried when he saw his passenger. And here's a picture of Perry shimmying across the truck, right there. The evil doctor pushed a button, and before Agent P could jump out of the way, found himself strapped in a baby car seat with a mobile dangling around his head. I suppose you're wondering why I'm wearing loose boots, Dr. Doofenshmirtz continued, gesturing to his bizarre outfit as he slammed on the brakes. He thrusted a bony leg into the steering wheel. Well, I got the legs for it. Anyway, it will become clear soon enough. The screeching of brakes blasted through the air as the truck pulled up behind them. Come on, Hainsley, move it, a gruffy voice shouted. Dr. Doofenshmirtz blasted his hand. Hey, wise guy, Sorry, madam. Sorry, Dr. Doofenshmirtz chuckled as he glanced back and realized the person in the truck behind him was actually a woman. He leaned closer to Agent P and continued. The voice was masculine and growly. I thought it must be a man. I mean, people must call sir all the time on the phone. It must be so, Dr. Doofenshmirtz grew pale as he noticed an odd look on Agent P's face. She's standing right behind me, isn't she? He tried to roll up the window, but it was too late. Thwack. And so, here's a picture of the lady and Dr. Doofenshmirtz and Perry in the car. Uh-oh. Did she hit him? Oh, comment down below what you think. A thick fist flew through the window and popped the evil doctor right in the face. In an instant, a purple and blue bruise started to bloom around his swollen eye. Not one word, Perry the platypus, he ordered. Dr. Doofenshmirtz didn't say anything else as he pulled up at the Glueplex Mall. He shoved the car seat with Agent P still in it in a wagon and hitched up whatever was beneath the tarp. Then he pulled everything toward the science fair registration desk. A line of kids stretched down the hallway and through the mall. So here's a picture of the science fair and him with his black eye there because the woman punched him. So, has a black eye. Oh, great. A line, Dr. Doofenshmirtz grumbled. Then he sneered at the scrawny kid standing in front of him. "What's this, a model of Pluto?" he asked sarcastically. "That planet doesn't even exist anymore, you moron." As Dr. Doofenshmirtz laughed rudely, a big, brown guy walked up to them. "Thanks for holding my spotted line, little brother," he said, as he reached for the model of Pluto, then turned to Dr. Doofenshmirtz. "What were you saying about Pluto?" "Nothing," Dr. Doofenshmirtz replied, quickly holding up his hand. "I'm sure it's black." Now Dr. Doofenshmirtz had two black eyes, and the model of Pluto stuck on his head. "I suppose you're wondering why I'm putting myself through all of this," Dr. Doofenshmirtz said, with a sigh to Agent P, who was still trapped in a car seat. The evil scientist closed his eyes as he drifted back to memories of his young self. The evil scientist closed his eyes as he drifted back to the memories of himself when he was young. "When I was young, I entered a science fair with my very first donator," Dr. Doofenshmirtz recalled. I wasn't very clear with names yet. It was just, a nader." Even though it had been many years, Dr. Doofenshmirtz could still clearly remember his very first invention. It was made up of an enormous metal cylinder with all sorts of strange fins and discs protruding from it. So here's little Dr. Doofenshmirtz and his little nader. Like that. Funny. And best of all, his nader was the color of cream spinach from a can. Do you like cream spinach from a can? Comment down below. Just as I was about to demonstrate my invention to the judges, a kid with a baking soda volcano stole the show. Dr. Doofenshmirtz continued bitterly. So many years had passed, and he still couldn't believe the judges had been so wowed by mixing vinegar and baking soda to simulate a foamy volcano eruption. Sure was kind of cool, but with it first prize science fair winning cool, Dr. Doofenshmirtz hardly thought so. The next year, I tried again with my even bigger nader, and again my thunder was stolen by a baking soda volcano. I had enough of science. I decided to devote my life to poetry instead. The evil doctor continued. Dr. Doofenshmirtz recited one of his very own original poems, just as he headed into a hip arts cafe back in the Union Chute. "The movies are gray, the TV is black, the horses are running, please bring me some food." Yet, curiously, I still lost a baking soda volcano, Dr. Doofenshmirtz cried. "But never again!" With a dramatic flourish, Dr. Doofenshmirtz ripped off the baggy tarp. "Behold, the world's largest baking soda volcano," he announced grandly. And here is a picture of Dr. Doofenshmirtz reciting a poem. It looks funny. At last, Agent P could see what had been hidden behind the tarp. An enormous model of a volcano. I mean, it has to be the biggest one here, right? Dr. Doofenshmirtz continued. "It's gotta win. I feel confident." "Next," the voice called out. "Ooh, we're next," Dr. Doofenshmirtz cried giddily. He hurried over to the check-in desk, pulling the wagon with Agent P behind him. The man at the desk raised his eyebrows at Dr. Doofenshmirtz's approach. "Aren't you a little old to be entering the science fair?" "No, what makes you say that?" Dr. Doofenshmirtz asked loudly. I mean, look at me. I'm wearing lederhosen's." "Okay, go ahead," the man replied. "See? I know what I'm doing," Dr. Doofenshmirtz whispered to Agent P. Agent P wasn't so sure, though. He'd witnessed a lot of Dr. Doofenshmirtz, half-baked plots, and they tended to backfire, worse than anyone could possibly imagine. But who knows, maybe this time Dr. Doofenshmirtz will be a success. And that's the end of chapter 2. Next chapter is chapter 3. I hope you liked me reading our Phineas and Ferb book. If you did, please give this video a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell, and don't forget to share this video to your friends. I'll see you guys all next time on Gabby's Awesome. Bye!